Welcome back to One Brain Ops, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Last time we had a very drawn-out prison break. That chapter actually got rather difficult. We'll see if this one's any easier. Let's get to it. A distant voice. Some of these chapter titles are, really ominous. I don't know if ominous is the right word, but mysterious. And yes, here we are. We finally get a base section. The first one in this game. There will be a few more chapters where we don't get a base section at the beginning of Part 2 and Part 3. We'll... Actually, it might just be the beginning of Part 2. I think we actually do have access to the base throughout Part 3. In any case, most of the chapters the rest of the way will have a base section. So there's going to be a lot to go over here with it being our first base. First thing to always do in the base is view the info conversations. You want to do this first because you might get items and you never know what it's going to be. So we'll go over these, and I'll go over all of them. The 3-star conversations are the most important because they're the ones where you actually get something. 1-star conversations are basically for just sort of story and flavor, but the 3-star will always get you either an item or a character, or gold, potentially. And then the 2-star conversations, if I'm correct about this, I believe this is the only 2-star conversation in the entire game. And it really should be a 1-star conversation because in the English version it doesn't actually give you anything. But I'll explain more when we get to it. Let's start with In Town. South. Oh, way to go, South. Way to tell her that you're on the run. Now you're gonna have to kill her. This is my brother. Yeah. South is, so in the friend zone. South, why are you such a misogynist? Alright. In fairness to South, though, so from that conversation, it was 3 stars because we obtained Meg. So, yeah. Meg is... well... yeah, Meg. She's pretty useless. She's not the most useless character in the game. In fact, she's not even the most useless character that is going to be part of the Dawn Brigade. But we're not going to get very much use out of her. She's an armored sword. She's the only playable armor sword that you get. So if you really want a general in endgame that can reach an SS in swords, it has to be Meg. I have trained her before, it's possible, and she turns out okay, but she has such low starting level and bases that it's really hard to train her early on, and her growths are hardly worth it. There are much better units that are much easier to train, so we're not going to be doing much with Meg in this playthrough. In any case, let's get back to the info conversations. Merchants. Oh, you know, actually... Oh, now that I'm thinking about this, I had these two merchant conversations confused in my head, but okay. This is still, I believe, the only 2-star conversation in the game, so let's just go over it. So, yeah, okay, that's 2 stars because it's basically explaining a game mechanic to you. It just explains how the shop and armory work, and we'll get to that in a bit. More Merchants is the one here that it's 3 stars here because in the Japanese version of the game you actually get something from it. I'll explain that after the conversation. Yep, Jorge and Daniel. Okay, so that basically explained how the forge works, sort of. So in the Japanese version of the game, you would get forging points for that. The English version removed forging points from the game, so you don't actually get anything in this version. But the lack of forging points makes the English version of the game way more broken as far as forged weapons go. Basically, there's no penalty to forging as many weapons as you want, aside from obviously it costs gold, but you can do a lot more forging in the English version, which is why, as a self-imposed challenge, I'm not going to be utilizing the forge in this playthrough at all. But in any case, let's get on to this last conversation with Kurth. I always kind of liked that conversation. Kurth is still kind of mysterious at this point, but yeah, Micaiah makes a good point. Pretty much everyone in our party, I mean, we are literally on the run from the law at this point, so it makes sense that everybody would want privacy, and of course they would respect that Kurth wants privacy as well. So, yeah, I always kind of liked that one. Okay, so with the shop, so there's the armory, which is weapons, so sword, lance, axe, bows, knives, and then tomes. And it's funny that in that conversation, Mustin said, oh yeah, we've got your basics. Wind, fire, yeah, those aren't available. But that's okay, because we don't have any characters who can use those types of tomes anyway. Then you've got the shop, which is run by Amy. She sells staves, healing items, and there's going to be a more variety of staves and healing items, as well as the weapons and the armory as we get further into the game. And then this screen is the bargains shop, which these are one-time only offers, so you can only get these items this chapter. You notice we start with 5,000 gold. We are going to want to take advantage of some of these bargains. Now, looking at them, I don't think we really need the L-Light or the Mend Staff. So L-Light is an upgraded version of the Light Tome, but if you look at it, it's got a might of 5, and Thani has a might of 8, so it's already not as good as Thani. We're not going to need that. Micaiah's fine without it. The Mend Staff is an upgraded version of Heal, so it does 20 plus the wielder's magic instead of 10. Again, I don't think we're really going to need it. For the most part, Healer's magic stats are high enough that it's rare that that extra 10 HP actually makes a difference. The main reason to use a Mend Staff instead of a Heal is that it's a higher weapon rank, so it helps raise your staff rank faster. But it also has fewer uses than a Heal Staff. It's 20 instead of 40, so we're not going to need those two. The others, though, okay, you can never have too many javelins, hand axes, and wind edges in this game, so I'm going to go ahead and buy a javelin, and we'll give it to the only person who can use javelins, and a hand axe, and give it to the only person who can use hand axes. And I realized that Aaron already had a javelin and Nolan already had a hand axe, but like I said, you can never have too many in this game. And then the Beast Killer. We definitely want the Beast Killer. So this is a knife that does bonus damage or effectiveness bonus against Beast Tribe Laguz, and there's a reason they're giving it to us now. It's also just a very good knife, so I'm going to go ahead and buy it and give it to Soth. And then I'll show here, well, I guess I have to go back to the items to show it. So, it's got a might of 9, compared to the card, which is supposed to be a good knife, that has a might of 4. And it has a higher crit than the card as well, so just even against regular enemies, not Beast Tribe Laguz, it's going to be a much better knife for Soth, or dagger, I should say. Okay. Now, we have some items that we need to distribute here. So, Soth stole that steel axe in the last chapter, which is actually going to be very helpful because Nolan's is already, well, more than half used up. So normally I would be buying Nolan an iron axe at this point, or a bronze axe, and being very careful with using that steel axe. But in this playthrough, because I stole that steel axe, I'm going to be able to use that a little more freely with Nolan. This steel bow, I might as well go ahead and trade to Leonardo. He can't use it yet, but he's the only one who could possibly use it. And then some extra items here. We're going to just give the energy drop and the discipline to the convoy. Ileana has a door key. We can give that to the convoy as well. Okay, Leonardo's chest key. I'm going to decide in a bit who I'm going to give that to, but we can go ahead and give the Draco shield and probably that herb to the convoy. He'll be fine with just that vulnerary. He's not going to be taking too many hits. Okay, and then Meg, her items here. So, honestly, the main thing that I use Meg for is that I just swap all of her items over to Edward. So, swap iron swords, swap steel swords, swap vulneraries. Because, honestly, Meg is not going to be useful. She can take the beat-up weapons and use those if the situation arises, but I'm just going to give the fresh weapons to somebody who can better use them. And at this point, Edward is the only other sword user we have. So, alright, that done. Couple more things. So I'm gonna get Laura. I'm not gonna buy that Mend Staff that was in the bargains, but I am gonna go ahead and get Laura another Heal Staff, just to have one for when that one runs out. And what else? So, looking at the armory, I mean, I might want to just get a bronze or an iron axe for Nolan anyway. Nah, he'll be okay. Micaiah... Oh, actually... Well... Now, you know what? Meg doesn't need this vulnerary. Micaiah can take it. So it's got a vulnerary. Nolan's is only 5 uses. Actually, let's go ahead and give Ileana... Oh, there was one that I sent to the convoy. Let's give her that herb. And, okay, Soth is less likely to need the vulnerary than Nolan, so let's just give Nolan the one with 8 uses. And I think same is true for Edward and Aaron. Let's give Aaron the one with 8 uses. Again, the reason for that being that Nolan and Aaron are my defensive tanks here. I'm going to be needing to heal them more often than the other characters. And I just kind of like to distribute the resources where they're going to be more likely to be needed. Okay, so then I'm just going to check real quick what all did I send to the convoy. Okay, so a couple of stat boosters, that door key, and then that discipline scroll. And there's nothing else that's in there to start with, right? Right. I was also going to check in the armory. Okay, so the armory is actually selling bronze knives now. These are the 1 to 2 range knife. You can see 1 might. They're not very strong, but they do give Soth an option to attack things at range. So that makes them useful anyway. We're good on tomes for now for both Ileana and Micaiah. I will just... Yeah, she's got 25 uses of light, plus that Thani. And don't worry about overusing the Thani tome either. You'll get another one before the end of part 1, so you really don't have to worry about that. Okay, now the chest key... I want to give it to somebody here, because there are going to be chests to open in this chapter. Obviously not Soth, he can open the chests anyway. Let's give it to... you know what? No, let's keep it on Leonardo, because I'm not going to use him, probably, for combat as much as the other characters, so let's keep him with the chest key. Alright, and then the next things to show here, so let's go to the Manage menu, and before I go to Award XP, I'm going to go to Skills. Because we did steal that Discipline scroll in the last chapter, so I can give that to somebody. So, Discipline allows the unit to more easily increase weapon level. So, the question is then, who do we want to give it to? So, if we look at everybody's weapon level, okay, Micaiah is still at D for light. I definitely will be giving Micaiah Discipline later, but I don't need to give it to her now. Soth doesn't need it. Laura doesn't need it. Ileana doesn't need it yet, anyway. Edward's already up to B in swords, and he's still in first here. Nolan's up to B in axes. Leonardo I don't care about. Meg I don't care about. So, yeah, it's really... Aaron and Micaiah are the only 2 good candidates for this. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Aaron. Whoop. I'm going to give it to Aaron. The reason being, we're actually going to get access to a Silver Lance pretty soon, which is an A-tier lance, and it would be really nice if Aaron can actually use it by that point. Now, the nice thing with skills in this game is that they are swappable. So, like, if I want to, I could take this now back off of Aaron, and I get it back, and I can give it to somebody else. So, that was not the case in Path of Radiance. Once you assigned a skill to somebody, they had it forever. Or if you removed it, it was gone forever. but we can swap skills around. Now, I should mention, though, that there are some skills that characters get for free. So, for example, Soth has Guard. You know what, actually, I'm going to use this. I'm going to show Leonardo as an example. He has Cancel for free. Now, that's not a very useful skill on an archer, because Cancel cancels an enemy's counterattack. And Leonardo is rarely going to be attacking things that can counterattack him anyway. So we're going to remove that from it. And you can see there before I remove it, it has 10 capacity, but it's not costing Leonardo any capacity right now. If I try to assign it to him again, it now does take up 10 capacity. So yeah, you want to be careful with removing the skills the characters get for free. Looking around at some of the others, the big one here is that Nolan gets Nile for free. Nile is an incredibly important skill in this game, and we are not going to be removing that from Nolan. It becomes important later on because it cancels enemy skills. And none of our enemies have skills yet, but they will later. Fortune Meg gets for free. We can go ahead and leave that on her for now. That nullifies criticals, I believe. Yeah, so it'll allow her not to get critted. Edward gets Wrath for free, which we've already seen him make use of a couple times. I'm going to go ahead and leave Wrath on him. It's fine. Ileana has Shade. I'm not sure if I want her to have Shade. So Shade reduces the chance that an enemy will detect them and attack. So typically, if you have 2 units in range of an enemy, and one of your units has Shade, the enemy will usually, not always, attack the one that does not have Shade. I don't really like relying on Shade, and I don't really like Ileana in particular having it because she's a unit that I'm trying to train, so there are situations where I'm going to want to leave her in range and have units attack her, so I'm going to go ahead and actually remove Shade. And there's really nobody that I want to assign that to. I mean, I guess... Well, okay. Edward I want to take Cancel, because Myrmidons and Cancel are a good combination, generally. And I guess I could give Shade to, like, Meg, but... Again, Shade is one of those skills that, like, it bails you out if you are bad at playing the game. But, like, because I kind of know what I'm doing, I'm not going to get a whole lot of use out of Shade anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in the Convoy because it's going to be less useful to me than other skills. And by the way, you can also sell skills, so if I go to the Sell menu, you see Shade is actually worth 1,000 gold. That's kind of a lot, so, you know, later on, if we are low on cash, we might consider selling some of the skills that we don't need. Okay, now, that should be good for skills for now. Then let's talk about bonus XP. So, now that we have a base, we can finally use some of this bonus XP that we've been building up. The way that it works in this game is if I give a character a level through bonus XP, they're guaranteed to get exactly 3 stat increases, unless they have capped all but 2 or 1 or 0 stats. And then they won't obviously gain 3. So, generally the strategy in this game is you don't want to level your characters up with bonus XP, you want to raise their XP up almost to leveled up, so that they will then level up in the chapter. Because that way they'll actually roll with their growth rates for the skills, and they're more likely to get more than 3 stat increases that way. So, I tend to like to save most of my bonus XP early in the game because it's not useful to level any of these characters up. None of my characters, to this point, have capped any stats. You can see there, as I'm scrolling through them, all of the text there on the left is still in white. When they start capping stats, it'll show up in green. So, you know, for example, if Nolan caps his strength, that number would be green instead of that white 14. So, once they start capping stats, then you can start using bonus XP to try to raise their other stats, because usually they'll cap the ones they have the highest growth rates in, and then you can use the bonus XP with its guarantee of 3 stat increases to try to raise the stats that they haven't capped. So, what I'm going to do, and what I generally do with bonus XP, is I like to only give it to the units that I'm planning to bring to endgame. So, in this case, it's going to be Nolan and Ileana who I'm really focusing on. So, I'm going to bring them both up to 99. And this way, they won't level up now, but the first thing that they do in the chapter will level them up, and they'll get a battle level. And then Micaiah and Soth are both forced to endgame. Micaiah, I'm not going to bother spending bonus XP on in part 1 here. As I mentioned, there's a chapter later where she will get a lot of experience in battle, so I'm not worried about leveling her at all. Okay, so you can see he's only gained 46 XP over the last 2 battles, and actually most of that is from stealing items, because he stole 2 items in the last chapter and 1 from the boss in the one before that. So yeah, most of his XP is actually from steals. He struggles to gain XP in part 1, and I will actually go ahead and... Oh, I can't even bring him up to 99, can I? Yeah. Okay, that was going to be the next point I was going to talk about, is that, you see, I've got 231 XP left, right? So, for example, okay, if I give Micaiah 11, that takes me down to 192. If I try to give Soth 11, that takes me all the way down to 110. So, it scales on what the character's current level is. It's much cheaper to level up a lower leveled character with bonus XP. Okay, so yeah, normally I would bring Soth up to 99 here, but I actually don't have enough bonus XP to do it, so I'm just going to leave it alone for now, and that's going to be fine. Soth will actually get some kills in this chapter. Oh, you know, considering that... Okay, that would take him up to 67. Yeah, alright, you know what, let's just give him that remaining 21. And this will get him closer to being able to level during the chapter. If I could get him to 99, there's a good chance that he'd actually be able to level twice during this chapter. And you'll see why when we get to it. Okay, so that covers the manage screens. Next is support. So, supports in this game are very different than they were in Path of Radiance. In Path of Radiance, you actually had, like, full-on support conversations, and regrettably, those were not written into Radiant Dawn, and that sucks, because that was maybe the best part of Path of Radiance in terms of the story, anyway. So in this, you just get the opportunity to support characters. Now, as I pointed out, Micaiah and Soth already have an A support. And then we can set up some supports for our others here. For now, I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, for now I'll go ahead and set up Edward and Nolan. I'm going to get rid of this support later, but we'll go ahead and raise them to C. And then, I guess... Well, Leonardo can only support Micaiah, Edward, and Nolan. Laura, only Nolan. Probably because she's healed Nolan so many times. Okay, so we can't really do anything else in this menu. The way that you build supports between characters, deploying them together on the same battle gets them support points. Having them stand next to each other at the start of a turn gets them support points. Shoving each other, healing each other, rescuing each other. Those things all gain support points, and nobody actually knows how exactly the math works behind that, at least that I've seen. But those things all generally help, and so, you know, if I want Nolan and Edward to reach a B, I need to have them deployed in the same battles, and I have to have them, fight side by side a lot. That's generally how it works. The other thing I'll point out is that the support bonuses that you get depend on the character's affinities. Nolan has an Earth affinity, which is considered to be the best one. It gives a massive avoid bonus. So you can see these two get +8 avoid from Nolan's Earth affinity. And if you can have an Earth support another Earth, they will become unhittable dodge tanks, and that is what I'm going to do later. But in any case, we're good there for now. The other things to look at here, there is this library screen. I'm not going to go into this because this will contain spoilers for the game, because it's going to include information from previous playthroughs, so not going to go in there now. But that pretty much covers everything we need to do here at the base. That actually went faster than I expected. So we're going to save. And yeah, I don't have to battle save at the beginning of chapters anymore, so that's nice. We'll go ahead and save. And yeah, okay, let's keep rotating saves. And we can leave the base. Everyone else, check the surroundings. Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of a recap of some of the racial tensions that we encountered in Path of Radiance. So, yeah, we haven't seen any laguz yet in the game, and that's going to change very shortly here. But humans are referred to as Bjork, and subhuman is a racial slur applied toward the laguz, and as Ranulph explained in the last game, if a laguz calls a Bjork a human, they're using that word the same way that Bjork used the word subhuman, so as a racial slur. So, yeah, Micaiah points out that, Soth used to use the word subhuman, and, Dayan, at least in the last game, was considered to be the most racist of all the countries. Soth growing up in Dayan, that would make sense. But yeah, of course, just like racism in the real world, it's nonsense. Ah, yes. So yeah, Micaiah is weirdly jealous of Ike, for essentially for Soth admiring Ike so much. Which again, it's conversations like this that make me go back to the whole Micaiah is very manipulative of Soth. That whole thing in my I don't know if you would call it a theory or an observation about their relationship. That is a lot of gold. Uh-oh. Generic bandit music. Pain. So yes, the bosses are Agony and Pain in this map. Laguz bandits. Here we go. Micaiah, give the signal. Yeah, I don't know how they all got in there without getting attacked by the bandits, but in any case, yeah, we're going to be fighting Laguz. So, yeah, this is the first time we're seeing Laguz characters in this game. And once we get into the chapter, I'll kind of explain how they work. But these are all Beast Tribe Laguz, cats and tigers on this map. The bosses are both tigers. Yeah. The Laguz enemies are worth a lot of XP, so this is a good chance to level your characters if you can get them to kill some Laguz enemies. They are very strong, though. And then, yeah, the other thing is that there are treasure chests. There's 3 of them in these 3 corners. There's not one down here, but there is an important hidden treasure right here that we need to pick up. And then there's another important hidden treasure here where this tiger is standing. So I'm going to go ahead and once again do a practice run of the chapter here. Actually, before I do, we actually now have the ability to reposition our units, so I'm going to do that first. Okay, so these couple of walls up here are breakable walls, so the enemies up here will come and try to take them down. I kind of have to decide how I want to deploy people. So Soth is obviously going to be the one to go for all the treasure. We're going to start by having him come down here and pick up the hidden treasure, and then we're going to run across. Oh man, and it is really lagging again. I do apologize for that. The other thing I want to find is I know that one of these... Here it is. Okay, this tiger up here actually has a chest key. And he's almost ready to transform. So I would like for somebody to kill him and maybe try to go after this chest, because it's going to take Soth a while to get around to it. So we're going to need to probably choke point up here, as well as fighting down here. Oh man, that lag. I'm sorry. I know I should just ignore it and not call attention to it, but it really does bother me. Okay. So, we're gonna have... What's your defense like? 12? And yeah, the attack on these guys, 22, and this one... Well, when he transforms, his strength will be 14, then might of 10, so 24. Yeah, the tigers hit hard. But Aaron can actually do okay defensively against them, so yeah, we're gonna have Aaron probably go up top and hold these choke points. And then I probably am gonna need somebody else to hold this other wall once it breaks, but at least at the beginning we can have Edward and Nolan out front. Okay. Definitely not Meg. Don't let Meg near any of these enemies. And I'm actually going to bring Iliana over here, because I know I'm going to want to try to take down this tiger. Okay. So, with everybody repositioned, I am going to go ahead and save. Alright, and I will practice run the chapter, and then we will fight. Alright, so, almost ready to fight here. I did discover something in my practice run, though, which I'll show you right now. So, Agony has a speed of 7. Pain only has a speed of 6. So, when Laguz transform, all of their stats except for HP and luck double, which means that Pain will have an attack speed of 12, whereas Agony will have an attack speed of 14. Aaron's attack speed is 10, meaning he will get doubled by one boss, but not by the other. So, putting Aaron up here where he's going to get attacked by this boss turned out to be a bad idea, and I did get him killed in my first practice run. That's why you practice run these chapters. So instead, we're going to have Nolan up here, because Nolan's attack speed is 12. It's fast enough that he won't get doubled. And where Nolan goes, Edward should go, because they're going to be support partners right now. And that means that instead of having Edward and Nolan hold down here, we're going to have Aaron and Soth do it. So, we will do that. Now, one other thing is I'm actually going to go ahead and give Soth this herb that Micaiah is carrying. Turns out that some of these enemies do exactly 10 damage to Soth, so I want him to have an herb for that reason. And yeah, everybody else is going to be positioned fine, so let's save again. And fight. Okay, so couple things I need to explain before we begin. So I mentioned these walls that are breakable, endurance 40. So the enemies in this game, their priority will be to come break these walls. So if we do nothing, this tiger on the first enemy phase is going to come and break this wall. In this map, they don't tend to go run over here for the other. In some maps, enemies have like this obsession with destructible terrain and will ignore attacking your units to go destroy walls. We might see that later on in the game, but this chapter, their AI seems to be okay about it. The main thing I need to explain with this chapter, though, is how these laguz enemies work. So each laguz character has a transform gauge. So you can see right now, this tiger's gauge is at 28, this one's at 26, this cat is at 25. When it fills to 30, they're able to transform into their animal form. So you can see this one is pretty close. Pain is actually ready to transform, and so you can see the little icon on his map model there that says Max. So in Path of Radiance, once a laguz was at a full transform gauge, they would automatically transform. In this game, you actually have to choose when to transform, which is actually a better system, because you can save your character and their transform gauge for when you actually are ready to fight with them. Because every time that they fight, they lose points to their transform gauge. And every time that they're attacked while untransformed, they gain points to their transform gauge, assuming they're not killed. So we'll kind of see how this works throughout. The other thing to note with transform gauges is that some types of laguz have faster moving gauges than others. Cats are the fastest. They increase the fastest and they decrease the fastest of any laguz. Tigers are a little bit slower. The slowest in the game is dragons. So yeah, that'll come into play a bit here. In this map, the laguz enemies are worth quite a bit more experience if you kill them when they are in their animal form than when they're in their human form. So, even though they're a lot harder to kill, it's better if you can do that. Okay, now the strategy for getting these chests, and by the way, the bonus XP requirement for this chapter is 10 turns again, and it's 15 for half turn bonus. I did manage to do it in under 10 turns in my practice run, so we're going to try for that again here. Ooh, by the way, notice the wolf statues at the back. I actually never noticed those before. Those are really cool. Anyway, and that may be a hint about what we're going to encounter soon. So we're going to try to do it all in 10 turns. So, like I mentioned before, there's those 3 treasure chests. There's a hidden item here, and a hidden item here, which Soth needs to grab. And then, of course, there's the 2 bosses to kill. And it's a route map, so we need to kill all the enemies. Okay, so first order of business is to deal with this tiger. Let's try and... well, I think Soth may end up having to be the one to kill him, but, well, let's see. let's just attack you with Leonardo, why not? And then if Aaron can manage to get that 6% crit, as he did in my practice run, he'll pick up the kill. Nope. Okay. Okay. Decent level up. He got defense and strength, and he actually got speed, which is one of his lower stats, so that was very good for Aaron. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just sacrifice for Aaron. And then heal Micaiah with Laura. Just to get Micaiah and Laura both some XP. And then Soth is going to have to come around and kill this tiger. And I could kill him with the Bronze Dagger. I'm going to go ahead and equip the Beast Killer, though. And you can see it's flashing there. That indicates the bonus damage. The Beast Killer is obviously extremely good on this map. Like I said, this is why they give it to you here. And we will be getting some use out of it. And in fact, you can see even Soth gets some XP now off of these enemies. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and attack. And again, we're going to hope for a critical here because we can actually kill this tiger. Hey, she actually got the critical. She didn't in either of my practice runs. And yeah, if you don't manage to critical and kill that tiger... Okay, let's see what Ileana gets. Okay, 4 stats. I mean, it wasn't a great level up, but better than a bonus XP level. If you don't manage to kill that tiger, it'll just move over and stand next to this healing jar. Yes, these are healing jars. They work kind of like the heal hedges that we saw in the last chapter, except in those you had to be standing on the hedge. Here, it just heals all adjacent squares. So this one would heal any unit standing here or here. Right now, Micaiah is set up to be healed, not that she can take damage where she is. Anyway, so the next thing to show here is the converse and how this works. So, in place of the support conversations, they gave us this far inferior converse option. So, watch this. Yeah. These are extremely generic. It's just a, C support is just like, oh, hello. B support is like a, hey, let's team up. And then A support is, I can't live without you. And each character has their own generic dialogue that they, that they say. It's really not worth doing the converse conversations. They don't get you anything. The only annoying thing is... And the reason that I will be doing these, if I select Nolan now, you see how converse is always the top option? I like to just get the converse dialogues out of the way so that they don't sort of interfere with me being able to attack things and that sort of thing later. So, we'll get this converse out of the way. And again, I'm just skipping over the dialogue because it's generic and pointless. And then we're going to go ahead and actually break this wall. So, rather than having the enemy come and break it, we're going to just break it for them. One other thing I should mention, axes actually have effectiveness bonus against walls and doors. So, your axe users can usually break down a wall in one hit. As we see here. And then, well, we'll see when these tigers decide to move, but, yeah. This is only slightly annoying. And then Meg, we're going to just have Meg hang out. She's going to go with this group heading toward the top. And yeah, this is what I was saying was kind of annoying, is that the untransformed tiger actually moves first, so he runs into the gap instead of the other one that would have attacked Nolan. But that's okay. Ouch. That probably would have one-shot without the critical. And then, yeah, this is why I equipped the Beast Killer, is that I want him to take out these other... Jeez, Soth. Easy on the crits. But yep, he's already leveled up, so... Okay, he got strength. Not a bad level. Soth's growths aren't very good, which is, part of the deal with him. Anyway... So, yeah, it would have been nice if this other one had come in and attacked Nolan, but This untransformed tiger is the one that is holding the droppable chest key, so we definitely want to kill him right away. I'm actually going to have Edward wind edge him. And useless cancel, because that enemy couldn't counterattack. And then we're going to have Ileana come finish him. Okay, well, she'll do a one-shot with Thunder. Oh, I'm actually going to show something else here, because I don't want Nolan to run into this gap and attack the tiger. I want to hit him with a hand axe. And I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to show something here. Didn't get speed or strength. Okay. So, what I'm going to show is that now Nolan has the hand axe equipped. You can actually do the what's called a trade trick here. Basically, you just take the weapon you want them to equip and trade it for the equipped weapon. And you see now it's unequipped, but as soon as I'm out of this menu, Nolan now equips his steel axe. You can see it on his map model there, and I'll show it in a second. And now, after trade tricking, Ileana can't move, but I can still attack. So, yeah, that trade trick is incredibly useful, and I wanted Ileana to be the one to obtain the chest key there, because now, when the tiger comes up and attacks him, he'll fight back with the steel axe rather than the hand axe. And now for Meg, she's not doing anything. I'm actually just going to have her stand here. There is actually a hidden treasure coin on this square, not that I really care about getting it, but I might as well try for it. Hey, I got it! My chances of that were very low. Her luck is only 8, so I had an 8% chance of picking that up, and I got it. Alright. Speaking of hidden treasure, though, Soth is going to come stand over here, and we might as well use an herb while we're here. And, oh my god, really? So I get the 8% chance of picking up the coin. I don't get the hidden treasure here with Soth, who has nearly 100% chance of getting it. Oh, that is so annoying. Okay. And that's an important hidden treasure, too. Alright, so... question is, okay, you've got 14 luck, 6 luck, 8 luck. Laura, 9 luck. Yeah, Micaiah would have the best chance at it, but I'm gonna have to waste another turn of Soth. That is really, really bad. That screws me up a lot. Okay. I'm almost thinking about restarting this chapter after that, but I'm not going to. We're going to continue. How much damage does Aaron do to this? Okay. Yeah, we'll set him up with... Actually, can I set him up with Leonardo? Yeah. Just make sure. Yeah, that one can't get to Leonardo, and he's not ready to transform yet anyway. And yeah, Micaiah and Laura are going to go down this way with Aaron. You have to kind of think about how you're going to split up your units in this map. And this is the strategy that I found worked. Of course, it helps if Soth actually finds the stupid hidden treasure there where he's standing. I'm going to have to waste another one of Soth's turns, which means I probably am going to have Aaron go provoke that tiger, which is not what happened in my practice run, but that's kind of the deal with Fire Emblem. There's a lot of RNG involved, so no strategy is guaranteed to work, and that's actually one of the things I like the most about this game. Okay, that sets you up as a kill for somebody else, and you're probably dead. I say probably because Soth did leave him with 1 HP in my practice run. Okay, so now Soth, again, let's just use an herb while we're here. Well, actually, I can have Micaiah sacrifice for you. Okay, so you can get up to next to this. Oh, by the way, there are these holes here, so the reason we were able to choke point here, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this. These holes are impassable, so there are only these two squares that allow the enemies to get in. That's why 2 characters were able to hold that choke point. Okay, so you can get up to next to where this is, so we're going to put Aaron here, and then you will have full gauge and come attack him. Micaiah can go sacrifice for her brother/boyfriend. And okay, I'll actually show Micaiah and Soth's a support dialogue here. Oh, and there are 2 versions of every dialogue because each character in the support can initiate, so this is when Micaiah initiates with Soth. We're gonna have Leonardo. Yeah, again, I don't want him to get attacked, but I want him close by. And essentially, Aaron and Soth, now assuming Soth picks up the item this time, we're gonna have him and Aaron basically switch places. So this is what it looks like when Soth initiates the dialogue. And wait. There it is. Okay. So yeah, you can see why I wanted to pick that up. That's a Master Seal. So that's going to be important that we pick up as many of those as we can for our units who are not going to get all the way up to level 20 naturally. Okay. Now, yeah, actually, this is going a little bit better than it did up here in my practice. So, how do I want to kill you? I could give the kill to any of these 3, really. Let's give it... Okay, let's give it to Ileana. And then what I've found works here is I'm going to have Nolan step up to here, because if I leave him here, or if I... Well, actually, if I step him up just 1 square, the boss will come attack him. But I want to step him up 2 because now Edward can come around here and can use a wind edge from behind him, and then Ileana will be able to step into this gap and hit the boss as well. So we're able to get him with 3 people. Meg is just going to hang out. Yeah, okay. Okay, so you are successfully lured. And yep, Soth has just enough movement to go kill it, so... well, okay. We don't need to rush over on this side. We're kind of going to have... So ultimately the plan is Micaiah, Laura, and Aaron are going to hang out over here, and eventually they're going to draw this boss forward so that our units who are up here have essentially can distract him so we can go get this chest with either Soth or Ileana, because Ileana has that chest key. So that's the plan. Soth is going to make his way all the way around the map, and we're going to go up top and do that. And for that, like I said, Aaron is going to be the one to draw that boss in because this boss will not double him. So we're going to just bring Aaron back around. Soth can... Well, okay, let's get some XP on Leonardo first, I guess. Hooray. And then, can you kill him with the card? You can. Okay, so I can conserve a little bit of the Beast Killer then. Jeez, Soth with the criticals in this map. Holy cow. Alright. And then, yeah, this guy is about to untransform, which is a little bit annoying, but it's okay. Okay, now, as for the boss, I don't think any of my units double him. Okay, if Ileana were to critical, that would be 27. So, let's try for that. Let's see if we can weaken him with Edward. Yep. Okay, and then Ileana, if you can crit him, that would kill him. Nope, that's okay though. Alright, and then Nolan, unfortunately, cannot take 2 hits, so we're gonna have to heal him. So, let's heal him. And once again, Meg is just gonna chill. Let's go ahead and sacrifice Heal Chain Aaron. Yeah, and this is going to be a common thing throughout Part 1 of doing a Sacrifice Heal Chain just to get Micaiah a little bit of XP. After Part 1, I'm not going to be doing that anymore because Micaiah will be able to use staves, so we don't have to do that after that point. And Meg is going to hang out. Yep, and you untransformed. Okay, and now there's a couple of tigers, or a tiger and a cat, I should say, up top. Okay, so now... Okay, I want Leonardo to actually go pick up this chest. So we're gonna have Soth come... Actually, I just want to check. There's no way you can get that far, right? No. Okay, so we're gonna have Soth come up here and use that... Yeah, let's equip the Beast Killer. Actually, you know what? Okay, let me do the math on this, because your defense is 5. Your attack with that is 28. So 23 times 2 would kill you. If I equip the card... Oh, well, you know what? Wait a minute. He's untransformed anyway. It doesn't matter. Never mind. He can't be attacked by that guy. Alright. And then, yeah, I want Leonardo to go pick up this chest. Can I shove him with Micaiah? I guess I could. I'm not ready to start drawing these guys in yet, so you know what? We might as well. Let's shove you. Okay, and we got a Pure Water from that chest. So, Pure Water temporarily raises resistance. It's not a super useful thing, except in specific circumstances. It'll help characters like, Ike, for example, later, because Ike has such terrible resistance. So, in a situation where he might have to face some mages, that could be a good, useful item for him. And it's good for other characters, too. Okay, so... Let's, again, we're going to have Ileana get this boss kill, if she can hit that 78. There we go. Okay, let's get a good level here, Ileana. Strength, magic, skill, and luck. Not terrible. That's fine. Alright, and now... The problem with this map is there are several places where you can choke point yourself, and this is an opportunity to do that. If I leave Nolan where he is, these 2 enemies will run in and choke point us. So I'm actually going to put Nolan out here. He can absorb both of those attacks just fine. We'll heal him up. And then Edward will follow, and this way my other units can get out. And I'm going to go ahead and just shove Ileana so she's 1 square closer to that chest in the top left corner there. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure in my practice run, Nolan was he was criticaling like crazy. He might have actually critical both that tiger and cat, at least one of them for sure. Okay, strength and speed, that was good. Alright, and then, yeah, you're gonna go block Soth, which is fine. But now, because Leonardo picked up that chest, I can actually go and attack with him this turn. And, yeah, if you critical... Well, you'd need to critical twice. But that gets you a level up. Okay. And it allows Soth to use the bronze dagger. Oh, that's another difference, by the way, between Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. The laguz, when they're untransformed, will actually counterattack at close range. They'll punch or kick or something. Okay, we're gonna bring Micaiah back over here. We're gonna leave these two where they are for now. Ileana, you can get out, and I guess El Thunder, you could kill one of these two. Edward's hit rate is pretty low. Because I kind of want to have Ileana and Edward each kill one, and then Nolan can heal himself again. So, alright, let's go and El Thunder the Tiger. And then, yep, Edward can actually reach over here. So, I do want to just be careful. I don't want to draw the boss this way, is the thing. But he won't come up until you're actually in range of him. And yeah, let's go for that, because it'll kill him in one shot. And yeah, I believe there will be some more enemies from up top. I can't remember if it's this coming turn or the next one, but there will be some more enemies from up top there. And Meg is going to just hang out. And they're going to hang out too. Yep, there they are. Okay, so Soth is going to come here because there's another hidden treasure for him to pick up. Okay, and Beast Foe. Yeah, this is an incredibly important hidden treasure to pick up. This is a skill scroll, and it's very important for later. Oh, the other thing here, his inventory is full now. Had this sort of thing happened prior to this chapter, I would be forced to drop an item, but here you can send something to the convoy instead. So it doesn't matter whether I send the Master Seal or the Beast Foe, but I'm going to go ahead and just send one of them to the convoy here. Okay, Leonardo's going to come up here. Yeah, let's just grab this chest with Ileana, because Soth is going to not be close enough to do it on the next turn. So let's just grab this chest now. 3,000 gold, that's useful. Okay, and then... Okay, before I start dealing with those guys... okay, the boss can only get to right in between here. So if I put Aaron here, the boss could get to him. I want to try to draw in that cat, and when I did this last time, the boss also ran up to here as well. So the cat can get all the way up. Yeah, if I put Aaron next to this healing jar, the cat will be able to hit him. Okay, so we're going to get everybody kind of in position here. Alright, and then Edward and Nolan up top here. So, yeah, I can't let you take 2 attacks from a tiger. How do you do against the cat? Yeah... Okay, so I want Nolan and Edward to stay where they are and not move forward. I'm actually going to do this. Okay, we're going to wind edge the cat. Okay. Then we're going to trade trick him back the steel sword. And we're going to hand axe the tiger. Jesus, Nolan. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but it works. And then Meg is going to trade trick Nolan back his steel axe. Oh my god, Nolan. You are amazing. And Edward gets a crit. Everybody's critting this map. I think that's going to be in the description of this video. You can scroll down and find out if I remember to put that in there. Okay, So yeah, the boss did come up, and thankfully for us, he put himself right in a choke point. So that's convenient. And okay, good. Weapon level up for Aaron. So he's up to a C rank. Okay. Oh, yep, and Aaron and Soth both get healed by the heal jars, so that's cool. Okay, now, the critical thing is I need to kill this cat, because it will kill Micaiah or Laura. Just as a preview, yeah, it doubles Micaiah rather easily. Okay, so Aaron can do 13. He's only got an 85 hit chance. So... Oh, and Micaiah can't kill it in one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit it and set up the kill for Aaron. Okay. And again, cowardly here, but I am going to battle save before I go and kill that cat. Sometimes you just have to do this in Fire Emblem. It's the right strategy, but it could still fail, you know? So the point is, Aaron runs around, he'll block off the boss, and then he'll be able to kill this cat. Strength and skill. Okay, not the best level up. Okay, and your defense is 13, so when he transforms, his attack will be, okay, 10 plus 9 plus 9, so... Okay, 28 attack against your 13 defense. So he'll be hitting 15, if I'm doing my math right. So Aaron will survive, but I'm going to have to heal him every turn. Okay, and now that the boss has been deflected, we need to get Ileana and Soth moving. So, okay, the question is... Oh, well, I can't... Yeah, I would need to get her another 7 tiles to get to the chest, so... Well, and it's going to take a while for Aaron to take down this boss anyway, so, okay. Let's just start moving people. Get her as far as she can go. Soth as far as he can go. And why not? Let's just shove you. I might as well continue to shove Ileana. Can Edward get there? There is sand terrain up here, which does slow down your movement, so that's why it's difficult to traverse this part of the map. Okay, and you're gonna go ahead and go for Aaron, which is fine. Okay, now I think Ileana is close enough. Yeah, she could pick up that chest. The problem is the boss can reach, so let me do the math on him. So, his attack speed is 12, so she doesn't get doubled. His attack... Okay, his attack is 28. Ileana's defense is 4. So, okay, yeah, it would actually, even if she was at full HP, he would one-shot her. Yeah, so that's the problem. With Soth over there, I could potentially have him just tank an attack, but I can't do it with Ileana. So, alright. Oh, you know, actually, can I shove Soth enough? Hang on. I might be able to shove Soth far enough. Ooh. Almost. Okay, but he is in position where he'll be able to pick up that chest next turn easily. And I don't want... Okay, I'm going to just place him next to Ileana, because I would rather that boss continue to fight Aaron for right now. And let's go ahead and sacrifice for Aaron. Heal Micaiah. And then Aaron himself is just going to stand still. Okay. So now... Okay, I'm gonna keep the bronze dagger equipped, because I'd rather not kill him with Soth if I can avoid it. This way, if he goes after Soth, hopefully Ileana can finish the boss that way. I'd much rather her get the kill. Okay, and we get a Seraph Robe, which is a stat booster for HP, and we'll be using that on somebody. Okay. Now... Okay, how much can you do? Okay, 18. So, 18, and Aaron does 6, so that's 24. And then if Aaron does another 6... Okay, yeah, we can go ahead and do this now. Yeah, and because Aaron would get killed on the counter, I can't attack, so I'm gonna have to heal him. But we're almost done with this chapter now, and everybody else is gonna hang out up here. And yeah, okay, you're gonna still continue to go for Nolan, so that's fine. Yeah, I guess Micaiah could have the boss kill. She's not with light. Can she set up Aaron for it? No. Oh, Soth can get down there. Actually, wait a minute. Oh yeah, you would kill him with the dagger, but what about a bronze knife? You would kill him with that too. Okay. Yeah, and Ileana is not going to be able to get around. Okay. Well, that's fine. I guess we'll give Micaiah a boss kill. Oh, and it's already turn 11, so I missed the turn bonus, didn't I? I didn't even notice. Okay. Well, that's fine. I still get half turn bonus, and I got all the treasure, so that's what matters. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and heal Aaron. And we'll get him a little more experience. And level up. Strength and defense, pretty good. Alright, and then we'll finish you off with Micaiah. And Micaiah levels up. So that was actually a pretty smooth run of that chapter. Aside from Soth failing to get that one hidden treasure, which was annoying. But, yeah, that went pretty well. Yeah, you know, Soth, I agree. It is a little strange that she's got that bird. And there's Yune and some others. Raphael. He looks familiar. Oh, he's Raisin's brother. We know Raisin from Path of Radiance. He fought with us. Well, fought. Yeah, we rescued Leanne and Rayson. Well, more so Leanne in Path of Radiance. And Rayson, then, out of gratitude for us rescuing Leanne, joined us. It is a little weird that Soth knows all of this. I mean, I get that he was there for Path of Radiance, but it's strange that as just like kind of an ordinary soldier in the army, he was like privy to all of the details that were going on among the, the higher ups. So Raphael thought that his siblings were dead. Interesting. We might find out more about that later. And who are you? Nyla. Yeah, Nyla's awesome. And Volig. Yeah, interesting, Hatari, the, kingdom that she is from, that she is queen of, that country is actually spelled differently in the, PAL version, the European, version of the game. It's actually Hatari with a Y, Hatary, instead of I, in that version, which is a strange choice to change it, I guess. So their kingdom lies east, so on the other side of the desert. Oh, that's cool. So they didn't know about Tellius, about the rest of the countries that we know of. Right, yes. The Serenus Massacre. So, yeah, we learned about this quite a bit in Path of Radiance. This happened prior to the events of Path of Radiance. But yeah, this, we'll talk about it more later. So Raphael somehow escaped the Serenus Massacre, but he thought he was the only survivor. This is why I love Nyla. Her personality is great. Yeah, so the people of Dane are still pretty prejudiced against laguz. I mean, they certainly would attempt to kill Nyla on sight. Knowing what I know about Nyla, I don't think they would succeed. I'll come back to that later on, but yeah, Soth does have a valid point. Yeah, if they want to avoid a slaughter, you don't want to just wander through Dane. And not that it would be a slaughter of, the laguz characters here, because I feel like it would be a slaughter of the Dane country folk. Yeah. So we just keep mentioning Ike now. It's like we're slowly integrating some of the stuff from Path of Radiance. You know, we got Soth, we met Amy and the merchants and Ileana. Now we're talking about Rayson and Ike and going to Gallia. It's kind of slowly coalescing and coming together here. And yes, the best line in the entire game delivered by Micaiah there. Ike hero of the Crimean Liberation, leader of the Grail Mercenaries, and father of Soth's children. So yeah, that is half the turn bonus, so a little disappointed we didn't get it in 10, but that's okay. Alright, and that is the save screen, so thanks for watching One Brain Ops. Next time, the story continues. Who will we meet next?